Hello, Commanders, and welcome back to Elite Dangerous Journey Across the Galaxy. We are continuing on our way out to Beagle Point. We've already gone through the Galactic Center at Sagittarius A-star, having left from the bubble way back over here, and we're going to continue on towards this end of the galaxy where Beagle Point is located. The purpose of this journey is to increase our exobiology rank and make a fair bit of money along the way. So let's go ahead and get up into space and on our way to the next destination. I would like to give a special thank you to, let me bring the thing back up. I'd like to give a special thank you to my channel members, Eric and Kynan, and my new guy, Raphael Saw. I want to make sure I try to give a special thanks when I get new members to let you guys know that I do notice and I do appreciate. So it's going to be you guys who really help make the channel become something more than what it is today by helping me get to the point. Whoa, what's going on with this? Helping me get to the point where I can hopefully turn this into a true full-time gig without the, pressure of having to figure out other things to do. So if you're just joining us for the journey at this point, we typically hop into a system, drop the Discovery Scanner, and then check out the system map when I remember to do so to see if anybody else has already scanned the system. Then we'll hop into the Full Spectrum System Scanner to see if there are any high-value planets on the filter system. Let's see, what do we got here? So, wow. That's weird. Does it tell me how far away they are? I think it does, but... Oh, there we go. 6,000 light seconds, 3,000. So none of these are... Like, these two are pretty close together. This is a binary here, and then this one's far away. Alright, I was kind of hoping they'd be all kind of close together, but they're not. So four out of the 5 bodies in this are... And then there's a gas giant, which, happens to be right here. So we'll go ahead and scan it real quick. Alright, well, unfortunately, there happened to be nothing there. Generally, if there's 15 or less bodies in a system, that's kind of my cutoff for deciding to go ahead and do a full-on scan to see if we can find any planets with biological signatures on them. I would like to... I would like to continue talking just a little bit about my opinions on some of the game-related things. I know I generally tend to have a bunch of negative things to say about the game, and it clearly rubs people the wrong way because I continue to get comments from people basically not particularly happy with what I have to say. And I understand. I know it comes off as if I have, I really don't like the game, but my rebuttal to that is I'm here playing it. I'm here playing the game. I complain because I care. I complain because I see what the game could be, and I really wish that they would actually, do some things to make the game more fun for people like me. And I don't believe that it has to be something that is, Oh, all right, we're looking for at least 2 biological features on a planet, though, so while that would be nice to go grab, we're not going to go grab that one, because it's just going to be bacteria. Another single biology. So, I'm the kind of person who believes that we should be providing as many options as possible. People who want to play the game a certain way, if you can reasonably provide that option for them, you really should, so that everybody can have as much fun playing the game as they can. It's not a good idea to have the mentality that, well, it should be this way because it makes it more difficult, or it should be this way because of the, like, that hardcore mentality is great, but the hardcore thing should be an option. It shouldn't be a requirement for, oh, here we go. So we'll go ahead and go land on this planet. I think the World of Warcraft model is the way that games should work. The base part of the game should be easy and fun for the most number of people, and then, you add hardcore elements that are optional for those people who want that challenge. Because not everybody wants to be challenged when they're playing a game. I come into a game because I'm trying to escape the real world. I'm not looking for another job, especially a job that I'm paying to do, So that's one of the one of the big reasons why games like EVE Online and all of those really heavily hardcore-y kind of games never really held any appeal to me, because they just weren't fun. You know what I mean? They weren't fun at all. I really struggled to play EVE Online back in the day. It was very grindy. It was very it was very few and far between when things actually happened, and you know, you had to spend a lot of time working to get to various things, and I'm not a big fan of that. I'd rather, like, especially for what we're doing here for the ship exploration, it already takes long enough to get places, and then, you know, you have to if you want to have a decently engineered ship, you have to spend hundreds of hours unlocking the things and grinding the materials and doing all of this stuff. So one way or another, you're going to be paying. You have to do all of this stuff one way or another. You're either going to pay it up on the front end doing the engineering, or you're going to pay it on the back end by having a really short jump range. So unless you're willing to go through and unlock all of this stuff so that you can jump 60-ish light years at a time, you know, that is what it is. I don't know. I was thinking last night as I was kind of chilling, and actually I was taking a shower at the time. I was in the shower and I was thinking to myself, I think an interesting compromise to the travel system would be making it similar, providing us with it's fine if they want to put it behind an engineering wall, but providing us with a jump drive that is relatively similar to the way the carriers work, where you have a max jump range that you can jump, and then there's a cooldown on the end of it. Now, I would prefer it to be, you know, not as slow as the fleet carriers are. You know, it uses up all your fuel. You have to refuel on the other side of it. There's a cooldown, but you can jump basically as far as right around as far as you normally could if you were just using up all your fuel jumping and jumping and jumping. So if you can do 1,000 light years on a single tank, then you could jump 1,000 light years in a single jump, and then have a cooldown on the end of that where you're hanging out in a system and scanning it, and then upgrade the sensors and upgrade the galaxy map to help us kind of pinpoint what system we want to jump to next, so that we can kind of have a little bit more control over what systems we're going to, so that, you know, if I'm looking for exobiology things, and I know, and I have a better chance of finding it around, say, an F-type star or whatever. I don't even really know, but I'm just saying, if certain types of stars are more likely to have what I'm looking for, then I could hop into the galaxy map, find a move around the galaxy map, finding a star system that seems like it's going to have, like, it has a reasonably high chance of having what I'm looking for, jump to that system, refuel, and because I have maybe like a 5-minute cooldown time or something, because I have to wait for my jump drive to restart or reset, then I can spend the time that I'm waiting for that scanning the system and going to find things and doing all of that kind of stuff. So I think that would encourage exploration even just a little bit more if we can start picking the systems that we want to go to, covering a lot more distance than we normally would be able to, because we feel like we're getting further along in our journey per jump, and then that encourages us to spend more time in the systems that we pick actually doing some exploring, because we feel like we're still getting a lot of ground covered, and we're not having to spend as much time doing the grindy jump and wait, jump and scoop and jump and scoop and jump and scoop and jump and scoop. So I think that would be a pretty good compromise between, you know, the grindiness of the way travel works now, especially deep space out in the black travel, and the automation that a lot of us are looking for. It would still make it more or less a manual process, but it would provide us with options, and it would also make it feel, at least, maybe we're not, but maybe it would make us feel at least as if we're in a little bit more control over where we're going. So that's my 2 cents on that. Ooh, sensitivity is really high on that. I'm gonna have to turn that down. 2, 3, and 4. Able to. Okay. While we're waiting on that, let me turn the mouse sensitivity down on that, because that's almost uncontrollable. Turn that down by 1. Well, we'll turn it down by. We'll do it like that. Okay, yeah, that's a little better. So we have Bacterium and Stratum, and they're both in about the same area. So let's go ahead and hop down onto the planet. Get this Super Cruise assist turned off. Oh. Need to get over here so I can actually see. And then I'm going to be looking for a relatively flat area upon which to land. But it doesn't look like we're going to get one. Yeah, it seems like we can pretty much land anywhere at this point.
Orbital flight engaged.
So the Stratum actually, I believe, tends to be pretty expensive, so that's good. Or at least certain versions of them do. Right. And we're heading down towards the crater, so that's pretty good. It'll make it so we can have a better chance of finding things. Oh, it is relatively flat, it looks like. Let's get our night vision turned on so we have a better chance of noticing things on the ground. Get our landing gear down to so we have a more controllable speed limit. Oh, looks like we'll be going ahead and grabbing some bacteria anyways. Let's see, what do we got? If I can find a landing spot. This is also something I wish that they would adjust. Make it so that the ship can hover and we can just kind of hop out of the spaceship close to the ground and grab what we need. Like, why is this flat? This is a majorly flat area and I'm still struggling to find a landing spot. This is ridiculous. I mean, look at this. This is ridiculous. Why can't I land here? This is definitely something that needs a major adjustment. Alright, so I guess we're going to go ahead and grab this bacteria since it's easy to find, and then hopefully we'll be able to notice some of the stratum as we go. Yeah, look how far I had to come away from over here, and there's really no reason for that. So we'll get first footfall on all of these, so that's good. I'm happy about that. So yeah, I mean, I know that all of these episodes end up devolving into me complaining about this or complaining about that, and like, I get it. I get it. A lot of people don't really want to hear that because other people have covered it, and, you know, some people are sick and tired of hearing it. But at the same time, if you don't complain about things, then nothing ever changes. Like, obviously the chances of things actually changing are relatively small anyway, but I'm just saying, you know, if you don't complain about it, and if you don't continue to complain about it, then it's definitely not going to change because they have no reason to change it if you don't say anything. And we also have to remember that just because you've heard all of this stuff before does not necessarily mean that other people who are watching these videos have heard any of it themselves. Oh, this is the stratum. It's not... Aw. Where's the bacteria? Oh, wait, was that some? I can't tell. So, you know, while I realize that some people are going to be annoyed by having to hear that stuff over and over and over again, you have to remember that, you know, YouTube has a lot of people watching. A significant portion of the global population watch YouTube. And, you know, that's a lot of people. And there's inevitably going to be a lot of people who come into my videos and other people's videos who have never... Even people who have played Elite Dangerous. I went for a very long time. I'm not a forum crawler, so I don't pay attention to the forums or anything like that. So any of the stuff that I find out about Elite Dangerous comes from YouTube. And I've been playing this game for, you know, years. I've been playing this game for years and years. So, you know, you have to keep in mind if you're watching this stuff that, yeah, it's a lot of complaining, but A, you know, I complain because I like the game overall, and I care about I care about its future, and I want them to do better. And then B, I have to cater to as many new people that may be coming into the channel as I can, and they may not have heard any of this before. So, yeah. There's multiple different audiences that have to be taken into account when you're doing stuff like this. And that just means that, those of you who follow me on the regular are just going to have to accept the fact that it's going to be like that. But also, it's just, a lot of times when you start talking about a subject, you go down a rabbit hole and you kind of get to places that you wouldn't have otherwise if you didn't start, just kind of mulling it over in your head. And a lot of times, even if it doesn't happen during an episode, these little rants that I go on talking about things I don't like about the game end up giving me other ideas. Maybe later on, like I said, while I was in the shower, I had that idea for the... Oh, wait, hold on. Let me hop back out of here. I think there was Stratum nearby, because we need to grab that. It sparked that other idea about the jump drive style... Oh, that's pretty far away. The jump drive style frameshift drives, you know what I mean? Like having an exploration style drive that allows you to jump extremely far using up most of your fuel, and then requiring an extensive cooldown, and then while you're waiting on that cooldown, you're moving around whatever system you're in trying to get all your exploration stuff done. You know what I mean? So I never would have thought about that unless I was really thinking about the different options and things like that would be available, because I don't like the way certain things work in the game now. So complaining about things isn't just whining if you're offering solutions to the problem. People might not like your solution to the problem, but at least if you're trying to add something to the discussion. Stratum Tectonicus, that's extremely expensive, and that should be a very good sample for us, because I believe, we get 90-ish million for first football in addition to that specific the Stratum Tectonicus. So, oops, if I don't crash. I'm trying to go this way, deeper into the crater, because I want to go find some more Stratum. But I didn't get up high enough off the ground like I thought I was going to. Okay, we'll just drop right here. So yeah, I don't, you guys just have to accept the fact that I'm gonna keep saying things about parts of the game that I don't like, not because I want to whine and complain about it, but because I have potential solutions in mind for things that could be better. And I try when I bring these things up to provide what I feel is an alternate solution to certain problems, so that it's not just whining about it, it's actually, trying to add to the discussion. And like I said, I know specifically, while I would preferably want a galactic style super cruise option, so you can actually feel like you're just flying through the galaxy, I realize that the lore doesn't really support that. Based off of the way they chose to, do the jumping and all that, which is fine. So, we already have fleet carriers that are able to do 500 light years at a time. Provide us with smaller ships that have a similar style drive that allow us to do, say, 1,000 light years at a time. Like this ship has a 64 light year jump range, right? So what is it? Ship. Where's my ship information? It has a 60 light year jump range, and we can do what? So maybe not 1,000 light years, and maybe make it like 500. I think I could probably get 500 light years out of a tank on with the way that this works, right? 60 light years, and then we could probably get what? 5 or 6 jumps out of that. So 6 times 5 is 300 light years. So yeah, whatever. I'm just saying, like, whatever I could normally jump here with 60 light years per jump based off of the tank that I have, make that my max jump range, let me jump that far, and then put a cooldown timer on it based off of how much fuel I used to compensate for, people's different jump ranges and stuff. Let me jump 300 light years, start the cooldown, and while I'm waiting for that cooldown, I could be scanning planets and finding biology and doing all of that stuff. And then by the time I'm done with all of that, my cooldown will be done, and I'll be able to move on to the next system. And, you know, if there's nothing in the system for me to find, then I just spend that time really looking in the galaxy map to try to find something that I'm interested in finding. So I think that would be really cool if we could do something like that. But anyways, I think we're going to go ahead and call that here. We're already 20 minutes into this episode, and there isn't really enough time for us to go find another place to go. So hopefully you guys had lots of fun. Be sure to click that like button so the YouTube algorithm knows that you did and sends the video out to more viewers. The more we have coming along for this ride, the more fun it is going to be. If you're not subscribed, please be sure to do that now so that when the next video comes out, it will show up in your video feed and you will be able to watch it as soon as it becomes available. Channel members do get early access to all of my content, so be sure to click that join button, check out the list of tiers that are available and the benefits that you will get for each, and decide if any of those are right for you. Your support is greatly appreciated and will help me become a full-time content creator and actually be able to pay my bills. So again, thank you very much for your time. Hope you guys had lots of fun, and I'll see you for the next one.